They said the word flop a lot. Florida Congresswoman Paulina Luna joins me now. Congresswoman, thanks for being on the show. Let's start with, what do you think at this moment in time? We've heard it mentioned that he's a blip between two Trump terms. What will be the legacy of Joe Biden?
You know, honestly, Will, what I've realized after meeting him and then obviously working extensively with President Trump on the campaign trail is that Joe Biden is in cognitive decline. And I do believe that, you know, his own party, instead of really rolling with him, they undercut him, they ousted him. And so he hasn't exactly been putting forward a big effort to support the Democrat Party because, as I've said before, the Democrat Party is fractured and in their own identity crisis. But, Will, you know, the last thing President Joe Biden is going to be known for is for pardoning Chinese spies and pedophiles. And what I can tell you is it's my belief that the U.S. government has one job. It's not to play God, but to arrange the meeting between these pedophiles and God. And so if he wants to do that as his final end-all be-all for president, I wouldn't advise it. But again, I just don't think that he's excited to help the Democrat Party anymore. Yeah,
whatever's happening, to your point, in this last month of his presidency threatens to be the thing that does define his legacy. The other definition that we're searching for, Congresswoman, is the current brand of Democrats. You heard me mention that they're within the tent among Democrats. They're saying the brand is in the toilet. I don't know. Right now, I mean, they're having their own little civil war, and that's fine. You should do that when you lose an election to define who you are going forward. But I don't know the brand for Democrats.
No, the fact is that the Democrat Party really has truly become the party of special interest and corporation. I want to remind people that a lot of these elected officials in D.C., specifically in the Democrat Party, literally wanted to take away Americans' livelihood during COVID-19, and were pushing for just this like draconian measures against the American people that ultimately killed our businesses, that separated families, kept people away from their loved ones, whether it was in marriages, funerals, or when they're in the hospitals. And so these people are truly removed. I would just like to point out, in the previous segment, you had Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who has literally gone on television and said that if we don't import people here, who's going to pick the crops? And yet she's somehow virtue signaling, saying that Trump's going to do something bad about getting involved in Panama. I mean, this woman could not be farthest from the truth, A. And B, you see that there's a tone of racism in the messaging that they push against minorities that aren't voting Democrat. So, I mean, I pray for my colleagues. They're not all bad, but a majority of them are completely lost. And I think that they have a lot of soul searching to do. Get back to the Constitution and the American people.
Well, to your point, if we did define together the current brand of the Democratic Party, I think you might have touched on both parts of it, I think, right there. Definitely the corporatism aspect. They've definitely become the party of the special interest, the corporate lobby, which I did talk about at the top of the show. The other, though, is race. It's like identity politics. And you heard in that clip from Chuck Todd, he said when it came to Latinos, Trump spoke to them as the working class. Democrats spoke to Latinos as people of color.
Yeah, they did. You know, you remember the Kamala Harris commercial where she rolled out a video specifically for Hispanic and Latino voters. And it was a woman with an accent, which, by the way, Hispanics and Latinos are not just monolithic. We're all diverse. I'm Mexican. There's Puerto Ricans, Colombians, El Salvadorians, all over the place. We don't just have one accent, but also to talk to people as if they're not American first. It's completely rude and disrespectful to the amount of people that have come here legally, started businesses, become doctors, lawyers, politicians, and it just shows how far removed they are. So again, capitalism is okay, but crony capitalism is not good, and that's what the Democrat Party represents.
All right, Congresswoman Paulina Luna, thank you so much for being with us. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.